clairvoyant when I ask about the future. Imagine a river emptying itself into the sea. It's dusk, she goes on, but light enough that you can see the river moving out, its direction sure. I can see it. In fact, I've been there recently. Overhead, terns wheel and cry. Walk down shore where the sea moves in, the salt giving greater weight. The slap and churn, cold and immediate of this meeting of the waters, is an inevitability. I watch the sun fall, its theater of blaze. I've come to her to ask about the future and its brightness, by what measure we might predict or calibrate it. I've come to believe that everything depends on this, so when she replies, imagine you're at altitude flying across an ocean from one continent to another. I'm impatient, but I do it. Depart the shore, see myself in metal capsule at a window that frames nothing but sky upon more sky, and in my mind, we're in it, and of it, and above it, somehow, and also drowning in it, perhaps swimming to a far-off shore. I even hear the voice of the cabin attendant intoning in the unlikely event of an emergency landing. And outside the imagined window, the firmament dissolves into blue mist, diffracted light, a structure made for holding nothing but its own airy figment. I look again, and the clouds fissure into a sheet of ice, flows adrift more and more water. I want to believe in a better ending, to believe that we tilt toward hope. I fret in the near silent alcove where this oracular stranger tells me in figures what can be made of this moment, this now, deposited like river matter, the dregs of the past. The coins to pay her clink in my pocket. I should not have asked about the world or the future, at least not directly. I should have asked her, is there form or efficacy or beauty still to be made of this world? Even though I already know the answer. Yes and no. The sea roars in salt, and the river meets it, its sediments suspended and dazzling. A plane flies miles above Earth, combustible device, and in so doing plunders the world. The wreck of an old fish boat, there, in the mud, is the past, falling apart now and for years to come. The inexorable silt the river carries makes and undoes this estuary, where the harbor seal bobs up to inspect me. That's now and also the future. We are momentary peers, investigating one another as I disturb his habitat. When I paint the future, it is luminous, but wash of gray. And when I spell out its sentence, it is an anagram for insurmountable. That's not quite right. The anagram is made of reckoning. I say to the clairvoyant, the world is on fire, which is not a question. And she replies, but the world has always burned. This answers nothing, though I know it is a kind of truth, yet devoid of the particulars that lend a divination its requisite weight. The world is burning now, I say. She doesn't need to repeat it. It has always burned. But at least I know this blaze has history, and that I must learn it. From the shore I might pick up 2 stones, one for ballast, and one to remind me of the past, already here as I go forward, and that, in the burning world, we'd better be prepared to carry water.
As a person gets older, there are many ways that a person grows. Their bodies change from the tiny bodies of babies to the much larger bodies of adults. Also, a person grows emotionally, mentally, and even spiritually. Spiritual growth or faith formation is a process, like all forms of growth. It doesn't just happen overnight, but takes effort and energy to create faith. As young children, we catch our faith. We do not actively seek it. Instead, our parents infuse faith into our lives. It is something that is a part of our lives simply because it is a part of our parents' lives. This may look different for every small child, from attending church, synagogue, mosque services, to celebrating religious holidays, to learning how to be outside, and even the graces that are said during meals. This stage of faith formation introduces faith to small children. As an older child, our faith becomes taught. We are taught the foundations of whatever faith our family belongs to. We are taught why we pray, say grace, and what the faith believes in. This is where Sunday school comes in. We are taught that in order to belong to the faith community, these facts are what we need to believe. Then a wonderful moment of life happens. Adolescence occurs. As an adolescent, our faith is bought. This is when it becomes important what our parents or friends believe. This is also when we start asking questions and questioning what we had been taught. We begin to question the foundations of our faith and the truths that we had been taught. This is when we either buy into our faith or choose that our faith is not worth buying into. As an adult, our faith becomes sought. Our faith is something that we actively seek. This is normally when people shop around to see what faith they wish to call their own. We actively seek out a faith and a faith community to call our own. This is when we discover what we think and we ask questions to discover our beliefs in our faith. Many of us get turned around here, unsure of how or where to find the answers we seek. Many of us choose to stay here, finding comfort in the questions themselves. Some people are able to move beyond the sought level and move into fraught faith. This is where we have a faith crisis and move away from faith as a whole. Some people are able to move past the faith crisis and find a faith that they fight for. They are able to move into fought faith. As a church, we work to create wrought faith. We work to create an actively working faith created together. This is done through a shared covenant and creating a faith that is foundational. This faith spans the entire lifespan, and through collaborative work helps everyone to create a faith that is wholly their own. This faith is something that even our smallest members have a part in. This is a deeply covenantal and collaborative type of faith that takes work. The youth of our church have worked to gather water from places that mean something to their faith, which I will add for them now. These holy gathered waters are a way of creating wrought faith. This is our way of gathering together, covenanting together to hold each other in loving mercy in the years ahead. I covenant to create wrought faith with you all.
Water cleans, water sustains life, water is necessary. Today we collect water that means something to us. To me it's symbolic, this ceremony and the water we gather. Water is clear, something pure, something necessary. It represents what we strive for, perhaps in our spiritual life, in our relationship with the world, clarity, purity. As in real life though, water has its limits. It doesn't mix with oil, doesn't always clean the grimiest, greasiest things. And it has a destructive side to it, flooding and hurricanes. But that flip side too has a place. We have our dark, rainy days. As much as we may strive for clarity, sometimes our lives are cloudy. You can't always see through dark, swirling water. Still, all life comes back to water. I find there is nothing like a gulp of a cold glass of it after a hard, hot day of work outside.
The offering from the music program this morning was blessed as the art musicians gathered and did the sacred work of preparing the music for the service today. We offer this reading from The Prophet by Khalil Gibran. Music is the quivering of a string, charged with waves from the upper air. It penetrates your hearing. Its echo emerges from your eyes in a burning tear, and from your lips as they sigh for a beloved being far away. Or it utters a moan caused by the string of history and the fangs of destiny. And it can happen that the notes of music are reflected on your lips in a smile of fulfillment. Music is a beautiful young woman in the paradise of the gods who was in love with the sons of Adam. Then she came down to earth and told them of her love. The gods, in a fury, ordered a terrible wind to rush after her in pursuit. In this way, she was scattered through the air and disseminated to all the corners of the earth. She did not die. She still lives in the ears of humans. Music is the echo of the first kiss bestowed by Adam on the lips of Eve. And ever since then, this echo has caused pleasure to rebound onto fingers as they play and ears as they listen. Through the eyes of hearing, I was able to see the heart of love. Music is the language of the spirit. Its melody is like a playful breeze, which makes the strings vibrate with love. When the fairy fingers of music touch the doorway of feelings, they awake memories enclosed in the depths of the past. O divine music, we lay our hearts and our souls closely within you. You teach us to see with our ears and to listen with our hearts.
We fill the pews each week, coming with our hearts on our sleeves and our hearts tucked under our sleeves. We rise in body and spirit. We pray together. Pray with me. We sing together. We worship. We live our faith outside the walls, but within these walls we fill our faith over and over. We are the Unitarian Universalist Church of Ogden. We are each other's hope. We are each other's community. We fill the pews each week, not out of obligation or threats of damnation or even promises of salvation. We fill the pews each week because we believe that this life, this time matters. We are here because we want to be part of the better in the ever-changing world, because we believe love and justice are worth fighting for. They are worth gathering for. And so today we gather water which we will make holy, which we will sanctify with our theology rooted in love and goodness.